looking at the fact of developers are like, you know what? Let's just make a multiplayer. We'll get a bunch of people to play multiplayer. We'll just let that money just keep rolling in, and we'll get to a first player game eventually. Hell, look at what EA said this week. EA said on their official Twitter page,
Hmm.
she's a she's a 10, but she plays single player campaign or whatever that tweet said. EA literally has some of the best single player campaigns ever from from uh, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. And this is the thing. One of the people who is producing one of their single player games, Jedi Survivor, was like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot on the tweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so for we're slowly getting more people into our Twitch channel. I love how social media and internet works because as they're coming in, I think the YouTube channel might finally be up and running now. So
I'm about
it's
to go
just
check.
it's just that kind of night. And I know that because I did a test comment in our chat relay, and it's
Hmm.
showing that it is going to YouTube now. So I don't know, YouTube wasn't doing what it's supposed to. So watch wherever you want, folks. Essentially, we appreciate you guys dealing with our
Yep,
craziness.
it's on YouTube. I
Yeah,
see
I don't
one
I don't
person is watching it. That might be
cool.
me.
It could be honestly, it might be,
Might be
but
my
it's up.
wife.
Yeah,
Might be my
but
wife.
anyway, people are slowly coming in. It's fine. We haven't really said much about anything. We can redo other
I'm
stuff.
waving. I'm waving in the thing to see me wave on the YouTube stream. There it goes. Okay.
I'm proud of you, man.
I just
Real
wanted to make
proud of
sure
you.
make sure it works.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's been
Uh,
that kind of
I,
night.
I get it, man. I don't know why it didn't do whatever, but it's here now. People will come in.
Sir, the laptop wouldn't even turn on earlier. it's
Yeah. Tell me about this laptop. Why didn't it? It just didn't do
the
whatever.
it's the work laptop, man.
Oh, okay.
Eventually I'm gonna have to buy one for myself,
Sure.
and it won't be this one. It won't be an HP. I know that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It won't be this HP Envy.
Yeah. So more people are coming in. Hey guys. So we are talking about game development and the pandemic. We've had a nice little 20,
Oh,
25 minute conversation.
it just alerted me that we were streaming on YouTube. It just
Wonderful.
sent, it just
It
it
was
just
great.
sent an update.
So yeah, we've kind of talked about the Final Fantasy VII stuff. We talked a little bit
Mhm.
about God of War. Y'all know us. We can talk forever, so we will probably hit that topic again for those people who are coming in later.
What's up
But
from B
that's
More?
Andrew May. I don't know. Are you new to our chat? I don't recognize the name, but if you are, hello. If you're not new, sorry that I recognize the name, but that's
B
cool.
More in the house.
Um, but we welcome them. We're glad we're having new people in. But anyway,
I love Baltimore, by the way.
o-
The
okay,
city, yeah.
okay, that's cool. That's great.
Baltimore is one of those cities it has an edge to it.
Hmm.
It's like it has this nice downtown, then it has some shady areas, and then it has like a great comic book festival. And then like it's close to DC, but not close enough for like if you know people, they got to call for they come.
Okay, sure,
Yeah.
fair enough. Um,
Uh,
so did you want to talk about your thing or rack what we did already?
what was my thing?
You're talking about Stalker or something you were saying.
Oh, so we were talking about the pandemic. Um, Andrew May, you sure do have good crab cakes, and that's another reason why I like Baltimore. It's on the water, so seafood is a decent price. That's why I like Maine, Portland, Maine. I really like that when we went. Um, you talked about the pandemic, but real world consequences happened this year because Stalker 2 was supposed to come out. And you know why that didn't come out? Because the studio that produces Stalker is a company based where?
In
In
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Yep.
Hmm.
And so if you go to the developer site, some of the developers were like, yeah, we got to stop playing this game because we got to go fight the Russians. And
Sure,
like
sure.
literally, they stopped developing a game because a real war happened. And we know that that's not going to be one of those games where they're like, you know what? Dates are dates, man. You got to get that game out no matter what. Um,
Yeah, and it was. I don't think it was on the first Xbox Bethesda conference this year. It was on like their extended play. Like the
Hmm.
very last 5, 10 minutes or so was from the developers of Stalker 2, just talking about the conditions they were going in. It was a very informative piece that was, I mean, very well done under the circumstances, just talking about what they're going through as they try to work on this game. And it's
Hmm.
kind of made you kind of put other stuff into perspective. But yeah, you wonder how many games, because clearly that studio isn't the only studio in Ukraine that's going through this.
Hmm.
That might just be the most well known or
Most famous, yeah.
most publicized or whatever. So
Hmm.
you wonder how what other studios are doing as they try to go through that.
Well, not just that, and that we talk about the pandemic, and this is probably more just basically a whole pandemic. We can talk about this. So I wish I had it, but it's in the car. So the pandemic has disrupted everything nerd related. Not, I mean, just worldwide, but just nerd related. So I buy Marvel Legends. Um, I don't know if you've seen some of uh, the companies what they're doing because the price of oil has increased, and oil is essential to our everyday living, and it oil is what's used in plastics. So what Hasbro has decided for their Marvel Legends going forward after this initial wave from the Thor, Love and Thunder, and the Bonebreaker wave, they're no longer doing windows in their packaging. It's
Hmm.
cardboard, so you don't get to see the figure before um,
Like
you
like
buy
on
it.
a store shelf or whatever,
Uh-huh.
you don't see
So if
whatever.
you go into a store shelf, you're going to just see a cardboard box. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to pull it up one of them right now.
Okay.
So right now I picked up the Marvel Legends. This is the most recent Marvel Legends I picked up. It's Wolverine. Let me see if I can get the so you know what? Here's Marvel Legends Thor Love and Thunder. Um Let me do a screen share with you real quick. Uh all right. Can you see that?
I see it. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you see that window right there? That's what Marvel
Hmm.
Legends looks like. You've got the window right there. Now, here's what Marvel Legends is going to look like going forward. Um, Boom. So that's what it's going to look like going forward. You're not going to have a window in that box.
Sure.
You're just going to get a cost. That's because of the pandemic. The pandemic, inflation, all of this is affecting every facet of our lives. Plastic, everything is more expensive. Marvel and Hasbro said, you know what? Cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
We're not going to whatever the price is. So the big problem with a lot of people in um, with toy collectors, because you have, and you and I are a little bit of both. MIB, mint in box collectors, or people who take their stuff out of boxes. I'm a little bit of both,
Sure.
depending on the figure. Hold on. Ugh. Aren't you glad I wore pants today?
I mean, I'm glad for yourself. I don't,
I mean, we ain't got a Patreon, but when we do, boy, pants is optional. So I took this out because I really like this figure. I like Haley Atwell as Captain Carter, rest in peace. Um, and I really like this figure. So a lot of collectors are upset because, and rightfully so, because they're like, hey, I buy my stuff in the store. How do I know I'm getting that figure in the packaging? Or face paint apps.
hmm
So you look through, you see 5 different action figures on the shelf. You look at which one and you're like, okay, that face looks to be a little better than this one, or the app is whatever the case may be. When you're buying um these figures, these things have raised in price. So now Marvel Legends used to be about 22, $23. Now they're right there at 25, 26, and 27, depending on the action figure. If you go to Hasbro Plus or the Plus website, some of their VHS figures are almost hitting at $30, and that's before, that's 27.99.
Right.
Um, and that's just with the card. And granted, the cardboard box is an aesthetic. The VHS cardboard box, that's $30, man.
Hmm.
And again, you got some crappy people out there. Because again, I bought this one. I bought on shelf. I bought this one on the shelf at GameStop. I saw it. I saw the face. I was like, okay, it looks like her. I like her. Boom, I picked it up. Who's to say when you go to a store, someone sees the figure and swaps it out with another figure? Buys, you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know when you go into the store. Um, that's all due to the pandemic. This right here is going up in price just because of this plastic.
Yeah.
Um,
Give me a sec. I want to do a kind of a reset here for anybody who was coming in
mm,
late. We started around 10:10, but for some reason, the streaming software that we are using will normally let us stream to a bunch of different platforms, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff. For some reason, our YouTube stream wasn't going through, so we were only streaming on Twitch for a little bit. So if you watch us on Twitch, please continue to watch there because we're trying to grow that channel. But we are back on the News 19 Nerds and the We Trying Y'all or the We Trying YouTube channels. So hello to everybody who's been talking. Herbert Thornton, Andrew May, IMAX. Um, and then I see what's this? I am Herbie. I am Herbie. Oh, for Herbert Thornton, probably. That might be him. I like that. On Twitch as well. But so just giving everybody a reset that we are here. We talked for about 20, 25 minutes about game development in the pandemic, and we'll recircle to that again. Right now, we're kind of just talking about issues that some developers are dealing, like being in a war-torn country like Ukraine, as the developers of Stalker 2 are trying to finish that game. And then Leroy was just talking about other issues with the pandemic, um, with regards to like plastics affecting cardboard and or packaging for stuff for toys and everything like that.
I mean, we're going to see. It's going to be a while before prices settle down till we know what is the new median going to be.
Hmm.
Right now, like, okay, perfect example. We know gas prices have been fluctuating. I've paid anywhere from right at 3.97 for gas all the way to four something for gas. And right now, when I drove by where we live, the Kroger down the street, it was right at 401. Um, Gas prices and petroleum, the price of oil is going to affect everything. Again, I held this up a second ago.
Hmm.
It's going to affect that. It's going to affect, again, I talked about the plastic and the packaging. Hell, these are going up. Just the fact that these figures are going to be more expensive, um, which is also going to change how Hasbro and toy companies, because again, most of your toys are produced overseas. A lot of them are produced in China. Then they're shipped over because it was cheaper. We may see a turnaround to where it may be cheaper to make some of these toys in different places. But we know that shipping lanes were affected. We know that there was a ship stuck. What is it? Was it the Suez Canal?
Yeah, sounds right.
Was it was a ship stuck in the Suez Canal, which literally jammed up production. We know because we you have done stories. I know you have, and I've done stories where we talked about the shipping problems out there in California, where there were dozens of ship off the coast, where you could literally see them off the coast of California just waiting to get in because the pandemic affected how we're bringing products in house. South Carolina had the same problem not too long ago. There were 40 ships off the coast of Charleston because they were just not able to get those products off and unloaded.
Herbert Thornton, I wonder if they want us on the other YouTube. Honestly, um, we would probably prefer to migrate more people from News 19 Nerds to We Tryin', so we can grow that channel. I mean, feel free to watch wherever you want, but definitely make sure you are following us on the We Tryin' Y'all, or no, just We Tryin' on YouTube, and also We Tryin' Y'all on Twitch because we're trying to grow that channel as well. So the more interaction we have on those channels, the faster we can become like partnered and do more stuff for you guys. So definitely if there's a place for you to watch us, I definitely say either the We Try and Twitch, or We Try and y'all Twitch, or We Try and YouTube. And wherever you comment, it'll all be on the same spot, so you guys can comment wherever, and it'll pop up here. So either one is
We
fine.
will see
Yeah.
it.
Um, I don't know what else I
I
have
mean, the
recorded again.
pandemic. I mean, the pandemic has disrupted a lot of stuff, and hopefully, and I don't know if it is. I don't know if they'll figure it out. I'm hoping game developers will take this as an opportunity to say, you know what, maybe let's chill on the crunch. It's maybe let's chill on like burying our people,
Sure.
you know, under mountains of stress in the middle of a global pandemic. Like this isn't helping anybody.
Well, the show that I've talked about several times, and I don't think you watched it yet, was Mythic Quest on Apple.
I've watched the first couple of episodes, but I fell
Okay.
off.
So yeah, I've talked about the one thing I really like about that show is I like the fact that it's from the people from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can see that DNA in that, but also they talk about a lot of video game culture, whether it's
Toxic,
toxic
yep.
workplace culture, crunch, uh,
Fan culture.
fan culture, females kind of almost competing against each other for coveted selected spots. I mean, they do a lot of stuff like that, which I
Hmm.
think is cool.
Yep.
They've been announced for a season three and a season four. I know they're filming season three right now, so I don't know when it comes out, but hopefully they'll be talking about some of this newer stuff as well.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do going forward, considering they have been, from what I have seen, they have done a very good job when they were doing Q&A on this. That's one of the episodes I saw. Um, how close they have been, because I'm trying to remember. My brother-in-law loves that show,
Hmm.
um, and we were talking about how closely that show mimics what goes on in the video game industry. It's going to be interesting to see where they go next, considering uh, streaming gaming, uh, Activision being bought, Activision being investigated by the SEC,
Hmm.
loot boxes. Like it's going to be very interesting to see what they're able to come up with, considering what is actually going on in the video game industry. And it's almost like with Black Mirror. Like, how do you top and how do you make this show edgy when you see what's going on in the real world? Because that's one of the things the producers of Black Mirror had took issue with. They were like, how do we make a show like Black Mirror when this is what's going on in the world? That was a big problem. We talked about Grand Theft Auto. The makers, is it Take Two or Take Two? Oh
Take
no, Rocksteady.
no, Take Two is
No,
the big parent company. Rockstar is the company
Rockstar.
under Take
Thank
Two
you.
that's
Sorry,
making it. Yeah.
Rockstar. Rockstar talked about that. Like, how do we lampoon in 2020? Like, how do we do this? Like, look at the world right
Hmm.
now. Like, it's already Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Herbert Thornton, speaking of Mythic Quest, have y'all seen Players on Paramount Plus? Yes, I've seen
That's what.
Players. I love it. I told Leroy about it. Leroy didn't even know about it, which is probably a bad sign. Well, it's a bad sign on Paramount Plus overall because a lot of Paramount Plus stuff is, if you're not like actively looking at Paramount Plus stuff, you don't know what's going to be on that streaming service.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've seen any commercials for Players
Nope.
except through Paramount Plus and
I
on
watched Paramount Plus and hadn't seen one.
I've seen it on there, and I've also seen it on video game websites. But other than that, I haven't really seen any, which is a shame because that show was awesome. Uh,
I watched Paramount Plus because I watch a bunch of movies on there
mhm,
because all the Mission Impossibles were on there, and then I watch 48 Hours.
mhm,
I've never seen anything about Players.
mm. So for people who don't know, Players is made by the same people who did American Vandal on Netflix, which is also very good. And Leroy didn't know about that either, which was shocking to me.
No, I know about American Vandal. I didn't.
Oh, you
It
didn't
wasn't
watch it?
anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Yeah.
it.
Very good true crime mockumentary style thing. I think is done very well. This thing they're kind of taking on esports and League of Legends, esports teams and championships, and it's kind of
Mhm.
done in the style of like a sports documentary, almost like a Save the Last Dance style thing. But it's really good. I think 6 episodes are out, and it's either going to be like a 8 to 10 episode series. So yeah, comes out every Thursday. Good stuff.
I'm
Um,
interested.
yeah. we could go back to the top and kind of recue what we talked about before for all the people who are just now coming in for us. Um, so if you saw our Instagram or Twitter post, we talked about two big name games that are appear to be well on track for development for them to be done. God of War and Sony Santa Monica have said that God of War Ragnarok is supposed to come out this year. Um, they haven't given a date, but reports from Bloomberg and IGN, I don't, anyway, reports from Bloomberg and IGN have said they think it's in November. Also, in the same token, Square Enix and the team behind Final Fantasy VII Rebirth now have said that game is
Mhm.
well on track and should come out end of next year, beginning of 2024. And it kind of got us wondering, do we think developers have figured out a way to work in the pandemic and get games done on time, or figured out a new schedule to make stuff happen, or are they still trying to play catch up? I'm of the mindset that I think they are. Leroy has kind of felt like maybe not, and we can just kind of go from there. Leroy, what were your some of your takeaways from that?
I'm gonna tell you right now, God of War ain't coming out this year.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. While we're talking, so I went to Best. I'm on Best Buy right now.
Hmm.
I'm going to go to Amazon. Let's see. So I typed in God of War Ragnarok. Guess what?
What?
Nothing comes up. So here's what I noticed when I typed in God of War Ragnarok. I just typed in God of War Ragnarok in Best Buy. Nothing comes up. You know what does come up? Gotham Knights Collector's Edition PS5, $300, coming soon. Release date 10/25/22,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
2022. When did you say uh
Yeah, go get your baby.
Ragnarok was coming out? I think Katie has them.
Oh,
Hold on.
yeah.
Katie, you good? Okay. If you need me, let me know. Friends ended. You okay? Friends ended. You okay? Okay.
Okay. Um.
She can't watch the final episodes.
Oh. Okay.
She says get emotional.
Okay.
But what I was saying is Gotham Knights Collector's Edition, PlayStation 5. The SKU is already up there. Release date is 10/25/2022. We know the game has been delayed. There's no rating, but you can right now see there's a special edition. We don't know what's in the special edition, but it's there.
Hmm.
When I go to Amazon, I type in God of War Ragnarok. Guess what shows up? A poster.
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm.
Oh, hold on. And a shirt that says God of War Ragnarok coming soon.
Hmm.
Nothing. Um, I'm of the mindset that says that game is not coming out this year. Only because we've talked about this before. During a global pandemic, when prices are fluctuating, we're dealing with a lot of inflation. Uh, People are trying to figure out what they're going to spend their money on, and hopefully, companies are smart enough to say, how do we make sure enough people know our game is coming out? Prepare for this price increase because all PlayStation 5 games are going to be $70.
Hmm.
If you're going to drop a grip $300-400 on a special edition, it usually comes out. It's usually announced the year before the game comes out, correct? Usually 6 months to a year before the game comes out to give people that opportunity to say, because think about it like this. When Square Enix dropped Final Fantasy VII Remake, how early did you see that special edition? Because you bought it.
I don't remember. I mean, it was pretty early. Yeah.
It was so I don't think God of War is coming out because I don't think they're going to skimp on the fact that this is a big AAA title. It is one of the first major titles for the PlayStation 5. It's going to be $70. It's going to be in the running for Game of the Year. The last one, you talked about it. IGN called it the best game of all time.
Hmm.
Uh, you and Avery debated about it, and you and Avery were like, "Yeah, I can see why they said that." Um, they're not just going to drop this game and be like, "Hey, guess what?"
Yeah.
It I think it's going to get pushed back. And I think partially that's from the pandemic. I think partially it's also from the fact of, like you said, game dates are always delayed. And if you're going to put forth your best foot forward, you want the best game. You don't want this game to come out and then everybody's like, the servers are down, or CD Project Red, Cyberpunk 2077. And Microsoft, to their credit, remember when Halo Infinite was supposed to be this game changing after Halo 5 wasn't that well
Hmm.
received? This is supposed to be the first game on Microsoft's brand new platform. It's supposed to be a day and date um, Game Pass game. What happened with that? Pushback.
Yeah,
Sony's not taking that chance.
yeah. James Smith says it $70. Damn. Yeah, I mean
That's exactly
that's
what Sony's. That's what Sony has basically all of their first party titles have been $70.
yeah. It's definitely a tough pill to swallow. Uh, like I understand why you're doing it because I mean games have been $60 for years.
We
They should have
missed
been
a price
$70. Yeah,
increase.
we should have had a price increase a long time ago, and they
Hmm.
just didn't do it. And now it just sucks that it's coming while the pandemic is happening. Um, so yeah, I definitely see both sides of it. I It's interesting that they haven't because I feel like Sony knows the quality of the God of War Ragnarok. They know that new franchise people love it or the rebooted franchise or whatever. So yeah, I agree with you. They definitely wouldn't release the game unless it's ready. I don't think they're afraid of that. It is weird though that they haven't said that they pushed it back, which makes me feel like I guess they're waiting for maybe a God of War specific Sony state of play that could come in a few months, and maybe we'll get an update on hey, here's what's going on with that. Um,
Hmm.
but it is weird that they haven't said anything. And I brought this up earlier, but I'll bring it up again. Corey Balrog, the guy who you think doesn't exist but is a real person,
It's not a real person. You
um,
made that person up. Continue.
Corey has been on Twitter. He was the director for the 2018 God of War, and now he's working at Sony Santa Monica, but I don't know what his title is. But he went on Twitter to say, God of War is still on track for this year, and believe me, he said something to the effect of, "Believe me, when we have something to tell you, we will. We just don't at the moment." So
Hmm.
I wonder if it's a thing of they know the game is good, so what do we need to show you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. They also probably don't want to show you anything until they have together everything that package.
Hmm.
Um, so here's the thing. A little inside baseball for some of you guys. We both work at a news station, right? Each station revamping their streaming app. So for us, it'll be called WOTX Plus because that's the station that Tegna. That's our station call letters. So I'm WOTX, you're WCNC,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, your station. When did you guys roll out your CNC Plus?
Oh gosh, maybe April, May, something
Okay,
like that.
so ours rolled out in June.
Hmm.
Ours went live in June. However, we're not advertising it. It's it's updated. Like if you go to your app and you click on it, it will update.
Hmm.
But we're not telling people and advertising that the app is updated or changing
Hmm.
because we don't want people to realize until we have enough stuff on that platform and every all the ducks in a row, we're not going to start marketing it and telling other people that the app is changing it and that things are happening because it's not ready yet.
Right.
That's what I think Sony and Santa Monica's doing. They may have the core group of that game done, but they probably do not know what their marketing strategy is. They're probably looking at dates for what games are coming out. We know, again, Callisto Protocol is coming out at the end of the year. We know what some other parties, big titles that are coming out. Call of Duty is coming out in
You got a
October.
Call of Duty game. You got the Callisto Protocol. You
You've
have
got Gotham Knights coming out 10/25.
you have the Last of Us Part One
One. Hmm.
coming out in September or something like that.
So they probably want, just like movie dates. Video game releases are just like movie dates. You want your game to come out by itself against no uh you want to own that
You want
week.
as
You
little
want to
competition as possible.
There you go. Perfect example. Uh I don't know, an independent film. A lot of people don't know him. He's only been in a few movies. His name is Tom Cruise. It was a sequel to a cult classic called Top Gun Maverick. Flew under the radar, pun intended. Came out in a week, gangbusters,
Hmm.
to the point where it has ruled the box office and has made $1 billion. The first movie of this year to make $1 billion. Dinosaurs couldn't even take it off its pedestal.
Yeah,
3 weeks straight, it was the number one movie until Elvis. The Culture Vulture King of Pop showed up and was able to dethrone it for 1 week.
I wouldn't call Elvis the king of pop, but okay,
I said Culture Vulture King of Pop uh,
okay.
before the real King of Pop showed up. Um, I say all of this to say Sony and Santa Monica are probably looking at these dates and looking at video games and listening to the chatter and saying, okay, Call of Duty's coming out, Gotham Knights is coming out, Callisto Project in December, Protocol. Do we, is this game, Ryan Porter brings up Madden. Madden always demands attention. Now, don't wait 6 months, it'll be $20. But when it initially comes out, it always commands attention.
Hmm.
They're probably looking at the window and the release dates and saying, do we really want to bring this game out right now? Or do we want to wait till Q1 or Q2 next year and let's look at what's coming out? I don't know, but I know for a fact if you go to websites like GameStop, Best Buy, Amazon, where people buy games, there is no mention of God of War Ragnarok. There is no page, there's no nothing. So that tells me there's no pre-order. That tells me that they have not been given any information
Yeah,
that this game is coming out.
that's true. You, it's when you that happens, you kind of want to be behind the scenes to know exactly what's going on. Why aren't we getting that information? Because even when they don't know dates, a lot of times they'll give you like a placeholder date of like
Mm-hmm.
12, 31, 22
Mm-hmm.
at this point, just to be like, we know it's coming this year. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
that was back in the past. I don't know if they still do that.
What do you mean?
Like put those placeholder dates for pre-orders and stuff. Like maybe they've gotten away
Yeah,
from
you
that.
do. No, you still do that. You know why? Because you know that that's guaranteed money, and that's guaranteed people to. Because GameStop still does that. When Vanguard came out, I was in. What day was it that I was in GameStop? And I can't remember what it was. I was in there for some reason,
Hmm.
and I looked, and there was a dude just waiting. It was nine. It was nine something. It was like nine. This dude was just waiting. And he was like, "Am I in your way?" I'm like, "No, I'm good, man. I just came to look around. I'm on my lunch break." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting on such and such game." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, something. I can't remember which game it was. You want me to take him? Okay. Um, Herbert, you was asking where the baby was. He's coming. Uh,
Oh, wonderful.
yep. You already fed him. Hey, buddy.
Does Katie want to wave on camera?
Hey, buddy. Hi. You want this? No. Okay. We just chill. Um, So yeah, GameStop still wants that guaranteed money. They still want that traffic through the door.
Hmm.
Best Buy still wants that traffic because again, those pre-orders, those people are like, yo, that's money for us. Um, hey buddy, a little baby burrito. Um, so yeah, man, that's the to me the biggest indicator of whether or not a game is coming out is whether or not you see that launch page. Um, is and again, Not every game has it. But I will. So let's go. So we know Call of Duty's coming out, right?
Hmm.
All right, I'm on Best Buy. Type in Call of Duty. See if what they got for Call of Duty. First thing that comes up is Vanguard on sale. Call of Duty Cold War, third game. Guess what it is?
I don't know.
When I'm for PlayStation 5, third listing, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, PlayStation 5. Release date 10/28.
The only issue with that is we know that has a date, so of course it's on there.
That's my point.
Right, but what I'm saying is
I
you would need to find another game that supposedly is going to come out this year that doesn't have a date to see if it's
okay.
not going to be there, because that would be apples to apples.
Callisto Project Day One Edition, PlayStation
Well,
5.
that doesn't
I'm
work because
on
that has a
GameStop.
date.
What I'm telling you is the fact that we don't have a date and they keep saying it's coming out is the reason why it's not coming out.
Okay.
That I guess arguing is that it's not coming out because we don't have a date.
Okay.
And if they had a date, there would be a pre-order because right now I'm on Best Buy, Call of Duty, Callisto Project, Day One. I can see the cover.
Again, protocol. I don't know why you keep saying project.
Thank you. Protocol, Day One Edition, $70. Release date 12/02/2022. And that's another reason why it's not coming out. What's the cover gonna look like? Who's on the cover? Is it Kratos?
You mean okay,
Is
yeah,
it
it's Kratos. What are we talking about? What?
what I'm saying is it just Kratos? Like, what is the art for this? That all this stuff goes through layers of marketing. All different. What
If I had to
have
guess,
they?
I feel like that's already been decided. Personally,
I
I think
That's
all
what I
that's
was.
all been decided.
What I'm saying is it may have been, and it just hasn't been released yet. What I'm saying is if it has been, there has to be a reason why we don't know what it is for a game that's supposed to come out in 3 months.
Sure, sure.
It's already July. That's 3 months from now. If you're saying
No, 4 months for November, but yeah, close enough.
what I'm saying is we're in July,
Hmm.
3 months. August, September, October. That's 3 months.
November.
Month four,
Yeah.
3 months.
Okay, sure. I mean,
I'm not counting. I'm not counting November because that's when the game comes out. I guess that's
well, I
what
mean,
I'm
you can
saying.
still count July because July 1st.
Okay, 4 months.
It don't matter because you're probably right. It probably isn't coming out.
It's one of those things where I think when it comes to this game and just this game, I think that there's something going on behind the scenes where they're just like, and honestly, you know what? I could be wrong. You are right. It could be a state of play. What at the end of July,
Maybe.
or we get a trailer and they're like, "Hey, comes out, pre-orders up,"
Yeah.
and they could be like in your face,
Because
Leroy.
you brought up an argument before, like we got the majority of the chat on here, but before that, you brought up the argument of because the game is $70, it's not something you just want to drop on somebody because it's not just a $60 game anymore, and you're dealing with pandemic, you're dealing with like recession era type prices, all that stuff. So I mean,
Mhm.
one argument could be made: Sony doesn't care, which is unfortunate for us, but they might not care that it's $70. Now that
Oh,
they are in this mindset of it's going to be $70, you're going to buy it no matter what, because that's the same reason why we're not putting the day and date for our games. You have to wait a couple months before they come on our PlayStation Plus service.
well, I agree with you, and that's why I said the other part of that. Sony does not care. That's why they have not making this game cheap, and they don't care. And they're like, well, "You're going to pay $70 for it," but they also may be like, "You know what? You go pay $70, and you may have more money later on,
Hmm.
but we go get our money."
Sure.
And that's why I said you're right. They probably don't care because they're like, "We're going to get our money." Now it's a question of whether or not enough people have enough PlayStation 5s are out for people to buy this game, or do they wait after Christmas?
Because you know what? I think,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's not even that, but I almost feel like I think this game is supposed to be on PS4 as well. Chat let me know, but I feel like it was this and it was Horizon Forbidden West, both supposed to be on PS4 and PS5. Because people were wondering, oh, are they just saving it for PS5? Like, no, it's going to be on both systems.
Um, hold on, texting my wife,
Hmm.
finding out how much the baby ate. Here's the thing, and this is why I said, again, these are all things that I think that they're discussing behind the scenes. How many PlayStations are out right now? PlayStation 5s.
Hmm.
So we know that they're trying to up how many PlayStation 5s are out. We also know if you have this game slated to come out in November, that's a lot of people buying this game for Christmas.
Yeah.
But if you realize that there are not enough PlayStation 5s for you to make X amount of profit, you may say, let's push this to Q2. We get more PlayStation 5s out. We have this game at a $70 price point. Q2 it is.
Hmm.
Sell these PlayStation 5s, get more people on this platform, then drop this game and say, you want to play the new God of War? Guess what? You need to get a PlayStation 5. Oh, you ain't got a PlayStation 5 yet? We got a bunch of them coming for Christmas.
Right. Right.
These are things that they're probably having a discussion about. Um, we've seen more people be able to get a PlayStation 5, which has been helpful. I don't know if this game is cross gen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope it's not. And not to knock people who don't have it yet. I hope it's not. I hope that this is the game that we're talking about that shows us why you need to get a next gen console. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, haven't seen it yet.
But you didn't play Ratchet
We,
and
we
Clank, right?
that that's the one that everybody says Ratchet and Clank is the reason why.
Hmm.
Um, I like Spider-Man, Miles Morales. I I haven't finished it. I just popped it in. It was great. I love everything about it. But again, that's a $500 console. That game is 10 hours. It's why like Starfield may be the game for the Xbox Series X that says you need to buy the Xbox. Returnal is one of those games where people are like, yeah, this is pushing the envelope. This could not have been on a PS4.
Hmm.
I want to see God of War on a PS5 and give me a reason to say that's why I bought a PS5.
Sure. Sure. Um, Chris 24M eBay. I don't even know what eBay. He wrote eBay. The Chris wrote eBay.
Talk about a PS5. If you want a
Oh,
PS5,
that's where you got to.
go to eBay.
Oh, and then they're saying not paying
Mhm.
$7.
And
Okay,
that's what James Smith. I'm not paying $700.
gotcha, gotcha.
A buddy of mine is selling his PS5, 3 controllers, and I think either 2 controllers and 3 games, $1,000.
Dang.
And he'll
I
probably
was gonna
get
say,
it.
does he have any bids? I'm curious if it
Uh,
has any bids on it.
he'll probably get it.
Okay. What was the other? So I guess to wrap all this up, what is what's the path going forward for game development in the pandemic? Do we are they ever going to find a system that works? Oh, I paid 850 for mine, had no choice. Dang,
See,
man.
now here's the thing. Um, Chris 24. What game made you pay that money? Like, what game was it? Just buying the console itself, or was there a game that you said I have to get this console to play this game? Because I've been Sony, I've been a Sony person, and because my franchise has always been Metal Gear Solid. That was my franchise. I love that game. I always stuck with Sony because I could not play Metal Gear on any other console.
Hmm.
The way it came out on that console. And then they dropped Last of Us, and I was like, I'm done. Like, you killed it. Um, can't play Last of Us anywhere else. I mean PC now, but Last of Us, I was Sony. So I want to know what game for Chris 24 made him pay that money. Mm.
I'm waiting until I can get a Series X for retail, no bundle. IMAX, that should be becoming easier to get a Series X. I've seen photos of people finding them in stores, and I think Microsoft has had a push to make sure whatever the
Okay.
the shortages on chips that their suppliers been able to find the chips for their
Hmm.
console more so than Sony. So
Say, hey,
yeah.
hey, buddy.
Oh,
It's
Chris
okay.
said just buying. Chris just wanted it.
See, again, he just wanted one.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people who are like that who just bought it. I just have to have it. My thing is, I want it, and I bought mine primarily not for any game. I bought it because I knew my PS4 is going to die eventually.
Mm.
Like you've been at my house and you were like, "That's your PlayStation?"
Mhm.
Because it sounded like a jet engine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm trying to say like to wrap up the conversation. Do
Mhm.
you think there is a path going forward that developers have a plan for developing in the pandemic? Or are they just going to hope that okay, we're finally going to be out of it and we can go back to normal? Like, is
Nope.
there going back
I
to normal?
the pandemic changed everything because remember, you and I both heard we can't allow people to do their jobs from home at our job, right? Pandemic happened, and what happened?
People are doing it from home.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now the fight is getting them to come back because these companies spent all this money on these nice buildings and ain't nobody in them.
Hmm.
So now you're having all these people to force them to come back to work. Tesla's making a lot of their employees come back, but you're seeing people like Google, not people, companies like Google and Apple who are like, let's not piss these people off.
Yeah.
Um, the pandemic changed everything. That goes for video game companies. That goes for business. There's no more business as usual. People have figured out that a what's the word I'm looking for? The phrase that I'm looking for. The quality of life is more important than the job.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing a lot of people who are realizing I can do my job from home. So they're buying houses where they want to live. They're buying larger houses because they want a home office. This has totally changed the way gaming is going to be done because now you have to make allowances for your people to work from home, which means your proprietary software. This is James Smith. We won't come back. F that. You got people who are like, I'll quit before I come back.
Yeah.
Um, so now you have people who are no longer coming back to work, who are working from home, which means those video game developers are going to have to figure out how to make life easy for these people who work from home, which means all that proprietary software that you had to be in the office for, you got to be at home.
Right.
You got to make ways for these people to be at home. And I say that because my cousin works for Northrop Grumman, right?
Okay.
They make the F-35. Most of the work for that jet fighter had to be done in office. But due to the pandemic, guess what happened? They found a way for these people to work from home.
Yeah.
So people with top secret clearances, people who had to come in, they made it so that they could work from home, and they staffed the office accordingly and had to change the entire setup. It's for a top secret government plane. That's the helmet is millions of dollars. We just watched Top Gun Maverick where they were like, we just spent $26 million on one of these things crashing.
Hmm.
Imagine an F-35 goes down. So if they can do it, Activision's going to do it.
Sure.
Take Two, Rockstar, Rocksteady, Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Ben Studios, all of them are going to conform to allow their people to work from home, which is going to change how production is going to be done, which then in turn changes your favorite word, crunch. Ain't that right, buddy? There's not going to be any more crunch.
I don't know how that's my favorite word, but okay.
You taught me that word, so
Oh, so it
I
became
say
my
it's your
favorite
favorite.
word. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Uh,
Ain't that right, buddy?
so let's wrap this up. We've been streaming for an hour and a half, but streaming real time for I guess 50 minutes or so. Gave y'all a little bit
Yeah,
of
'cause I'm
content
yeah, I'm hungry.
to go. Okay, fool, get you some food. What got you through the week? What you been doing besides taking care of
Uh,
babies, or is that it?
what has I been doing? Outriders, man.
That's shameless plug. Eventually, Leroy and I are going to play Outriders together on our Twitch channel. Um, Probably sometime this week, I assume. If you're playing all the time, I can play whenever. I don't. Have you been watching Doctor Strange? I don't know what the action
Mm-mm.
figure is. Okay.
I just have it. It was up there.
Okay.
Two shows that I've been watching. Stranger Things is back,
Hmm.
so I was watching. Hey, what's that on your eye, buddy? Got it. So watched a little bit of that, and I told you, I don't know why the old man
You've been talking about it.
Jeff Bridges is killing it, and Amy Brennan finally showed me why she's on this show. Um, but yeah, and I just been watching old stuff, man. We like I said, we just rewatch Friends.
Do you
That's
leave
we
the vid
just
up on Twitch? Yes, we do leave the vid up on Twitch. That setting should be up. So once this ends, you can watch it on Twitch. IMAX, thank you for doing that, helping us get those numbers up. But yeah. Um, for
you got
me,
a booger,
you're
buddy.
talking about old stuff. So
Mhm.
I knew this came out a while ago, and the thumbnail always threw me off. But for some reason, it was on Hulu. I decided to watch Black Jesus. Man, the show was fantastic.
10 years too late.
I mean, it's fun. I mean,
Corey Holcomb as Black Jesus is should be a crime.
I am just I'm just happy to watch it.
Yeah.
It's new to me, so I'm enjoying that. I was watching that. Been watching Players. Finally finished Justified a couple weeks ago. That was a good show. That was great to watch.
I'm watching Peaky Blinders. I'm on season. I might be on 5 now.
Gotcha.
I might be up to 5. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so yes, for the housekeeping stuff, thank you guys for bearing with us today. We are streaming right now on Twitter. Nope, not on Twitter. On Twitch and YouTube, both on News 19 Nerds.
One day.
Yeah, on News 19 Nerds and We Tryin'. For anybody who doesn't know, please be sure to follow us on News 19 Nerd. Nope. Actually, you can follow us there, but you should follow us on We Tryin', y'all, on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch,
No, no one day.
and then
Okay.
for YouTube, We Tryin'. And that's it. We will probably be back next week with something. Um,
Mm.
this will be a great remember when we starting out on this channel moment one day. Yeah.
Yep.
Lovely. But that's it for us. We're gonna sign out. Hopefully, we'll see y'all next week. And we have been
Yep.
putting up videos on YouTube, so there are lots of different videos you can see up now. A couple of reviews that we've done and some reactions. So we will see y'all later. And we are
Peace.
out. If I can find the stuff. There we go. James Smith, how do we donate? We got to become a bigger channel before we can take money. We will believe
Yeah.
us. When it happens, we will let you know. You ain't got to worry about that. You'll be like, man, they won't
Yeah.
shut up about it. But yeah, we'll let you know when we can finally take donations. But
You gonna think we are homeless?
yeah,
I'm gonna have
essentially,
a little cup and everything.
yeah. But we'll let you know. But appreciate it. We out.
Peace.